time where worlds align. AI story time. Let's redefine.
I asked ChatGPT what a book synopsis is and for an example of a literary fiction book synopsis. This is what it gave me, and since we have GPT-5 now, I decided to let it write me a story based on the synopsis it provided. Additionally, Revoicer has added 2 new voices, so I decided to use one of them with a custom tone set to dramatic. Synopsis. In the quiet, rural town of Meadowbrook, Eleanor Grayson, a widow in her late 50s, struggles with the weight of grief and isolation following the sudden death of her husband. As the seasons shift around her, she begins to notice the small, intricate ways life continues in the town she once thought she knew well. Across town, 17-year-old Lucas, abandoned by his mother and raised by his distant father, harbors a secret talent for painting that he hides from everyone. The 2 characters, strangers at first, form an unlikely bond after a chance meeting at a local art exhibit. Through their connection, both Eleanor and Lucas confront the unspoken pain they carry and seek to redefine themselves in a world that feels alien. As they navigate the complex layers of their inner lives, loss, fear, and the search for meaning, they begin to understand that sometimes silence carries its own weight and healing can be found in unexpected places.
The house was too quiet. Eleanor Grayson had grown used to the hum of her husband's presence, the shuffle of his boots by the door, the crackle of his laugh that filled up corners of the room, even the way he whistled when he thought no one was listening. Now, silence pressed against her like heavy wool. She filled the days with chores she didn't need to do, rearranging shelves, sweeping a clean floor, talking to no one. Meadowbrook in autumn was a postcard town. Leaves fell in rusty spirals along Main Street, where the diners still smelled of bacon grease and coffee that burned your tongue. Everyone waved, everyone smiled, but no one asked how she was doing. Eleanor didn't blame them. Grief made people uncomfortable, like a sharp stone in their shoe. Across town, Lucas painted in the shed behind his father's house. The boy's canvases bloomed with colors he never showed anyone. Deep violets, violent oranges, the shapes of people who looked more alive than he felt. His father didn't notice, or maybe he didn't care. The man worked late shifts and spoke to Lucas mostly in instructions. Take out the trash. Lock the door. The meeting happened by accident. Meadowbrook's library hosted an exhibit of local art, watercolors of barns, photographs of deer in the fields. Eleanor wandered in one chilly afternoon, not expecting much. That's when she saw it. A painting of a boy staring at a lake, his reflection blurred as though the water couldn't decide who he was. She stood there longer than she realized, the edges of her coat brushing the frame. "Do you like it?" a voice asked behind her. Lucas. He hadn't meant to speak, but something in the way she looked at the painting made him curious. Eleanor turned, surprised. "It's honest," she said. "It feels like being inside someone's silence." For the first time, Lucas didn't feel the need to hide. What grew from that moment wasn't dramatic, just small things. Eleanor started bringing cookies to the library when she knew he'd be sketching in the corner. Lucas began walking her home, carrying her grocery bag, even though she insisted she could manage. They didn't talk much about the big things, her husband, his mother, but the spaces between words held something neither had felt in a long time. Recognition. Winter came, blanketing Meadowbrook in white. Eleanor's grief softened into something less jagged. Lucas painted with more courage, daring colors into being. Together, they learned that silence didn't always mean emptiness. Sometimes it was the ground where healing took root. In the end, Meadowbrook stayed the same. Barns, fields, the diner with its bad coffee. But Eleanor and Lucas carried something new, the knowledge that even in quiet towns, even in quiet lives, connections could bloom where no one expected.
Story time.